Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. In front of me I have 3 samples that I haven't tasted yet, which have just come in from a scout in China. We are searching, or we have been searching, for the 2023 batch of Candy Tree Black. For those of you who don't know, this is a wild black tea grown in Wuyi mountains and has this incredible candied fruit aromatic, and we've tasted many samples, didn't find any. Actually, only a couple of days ago, one sample came in and I loved it and I approved it and I've ordered it. So I now have Candy Tree Black. But whilst we were in the process of reaching out to see if we could find more samples of this tea, this Wuyi wild tea, I spoke to a scout who actually lives near Fujian, in Guangdong actually, but near Fujian. And said, can you see what you can do? See if you can find some Wuyi wild black. And she sent me these teas and was gushing about them, absolutely gushing, saying these are incredible teas. And I've been working with the Scout for many years and I trust her tastes. So when she says these are special teas, I thought, you know what, why don't I just turn the cameras on and we'll just do this sampling together and see what they're like. Now, they're labeled ABC. I have the information ABC, which tea is which, on my computer in front of me, so I can check it out later. I know that they're all expensive teas, and I know that one of them is a single tree material from a very old wild tea tree. So I know one of them is meant to be, you know, the absolute star of the show, but she says that all of these are incredible. So I thought, let's dive in and let's taste these, and you'll see what I do when I'm having my standard sampling session. So what I'll do first of all is warm up my TEAWARE. Eagle-eyed amongst you will notice the kettle has been changed, and we'll talk about that kettle at some point once I've formulated my experience and my opinions about it. We're going to do about 4 grams. See, this is the problem. I don't have much of this tea, so I've probably got enough for one more session here. And that tends to be the case for the very expensive teas. It tends to be that we don't get that much of it for obvious reasons. But once we've started ordering from a place, then they usually will send me more. So let's do TA. So these are all Wuyi wild blacks. So they're all Wuyi wild blacks. But the thing about wild tea is, or semi-wild tea, in other words, tea which has been left a little bit to its own devices, they tend to have much broader palette of flavors compared with teas that are controlled in plantations, that everything, you know, the cultivar are all the same because they all come from the same cuttings, everything's the same. So there's a sort of a standardization of taste, which is great because you get that consistency. With wild teas, it's a bit all over the place, and in trying to find a 2023 batch of Candy Tree Black, we found that whilst there was incredible teas, that nothing was quite hitting the mark of what I associate with Candy Tree Black. All right, let's have a sniff and see whether or not this is something I associate with Candy Tree Black. Wuyi Wild Black. The first answer to that is no. This is not what I associate with Candy Tree Black. What I associate with Candy Tree Black is, as the name suggests, lots and lots of candies, fruit candies, sort of raspberry candies, cherry candies, guava, very fruity, but in that boiled sweet, hard candy, almost bubblegum quality. Very, you know, almost over the top. It's overflowing with candied aroma. This does not have that, but it has an amazing aroma. Extremely buttery, extremely figgy. I would even put it under the Jinmudan Golden Peony, what we call fig butter black tea. If you haven't seen that tea, I'll put a link in the description below. Fig butter black has this incredible fig and butter aromatic, and this has that as well. But it has a brighter note as well. I would say cut pear, so it's a bit fresher, a little bit less of the brown butter and more straight up melted butter. Smells amazing, is not my Candy Tree Black. So I'm under no pressure here because I have already found my Candy Tree Black. So one of the things when I'm tasting teas is, of course, I am always hoping to love a tea. But there is also part of me that hopes that I'm not going to like the teas enough because, you know, we've got a certain budget, which I always blow and always exceed every year. But there's only so much that I can spend on tea and only so many teas that I can have in the catalogue. So there's always a part of me that actually hopes that, you know, the tea is not quite good enough for Mayleaf, because then it means that I don't have to have that decision about whether or not I'm going to be buying it in. And that's especially the case, of course, if I've already found the batch of Candy Tree Black in this case. So, you know, getting anything else would be an extra batch of Candy Tree or some other version of Candy Tree. Anyway, let's see. B, TB. Again, not Candy Tree Black, but beautiful aroma. This has a similar aroma to this, but with more coconut notes to it. Very, very coconut cream. Some creosote, some, you know, there's a road works going on in the background. It's just a little bit of a tarry note, which I absolutely adore. I love notes that have like a little bit of tar or a little bit of rubber, as long as it's in the background and is more of a aromatic intrigue in the background rather than something that's up front. So both of these smell great, but I have to say are not, in my view, Candy Tree Black. So hopefully I've dodged a bullet here and not going to be spending insane money, because I know that one of these is, well, they're all expensive, but I know that one of these is very, very expensive. And I'm sort of hoping that, well, I don't know what I'm hoping. I always want a great tea, of course. I want that amazing experience. But you understand, when you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars every year on tea, you know, there's always this stress going on. And when somebody sends you a tea and says, it's amazing, but extremely expensive, there's always that worry. It's like, oh, am I going to really love it? And then it is going to blow the budget out of the water. All right, so tea letter C looks different, looks bigger leaf, looks more what I would associate with a Candy Tree Black. Let's see. Okay, yep, this is straight up Candy Tree. Immediately, loads and loads of boiled sweets. Guava, raspberry, cherry, apple, just like a cornucopia of candied fruit goodness. But then I'm also getting some figs and I'm also getting some melted butter. And I'm getting a slight resinous wood note, like a very, very, as if you've taken not the pine wood, but the needles from a pine tree and you just warm them up in your hands. You get a little bit of that pine wood note. Oh no. That's trouble, that tea. That tea is trouble. I hope it's not the very expensive one, but that tea is trouble. Okay, here we go. Let's smell. Wet leaf. Oh my gosh. This is like you're smelling a fig leaf scented candle. It is full on fig leaf, which is one of my most favorite ingredients. In fact, last weekend I was in a park and I saw a fig tree and Celine and I just went and pulled off a load of leaves. Don't worry, there was plenty there, but we picked off a load of fig leaves and we made a fig leaf syrup. I absolutely adore fig leaf oil, fig leaf ice cream, fig leaf drinks. And this is fig leaf. Ah, more than fig butter black. Fig butter black is more like the fig fruit and brown butter. Ah, this sweet but bright, indulgent and comforting yet fresh and uplifting. That combination that happens with fig and fig leaf, I can't get enough of it. That has just now started to worry me. I can't buy any more tea. It's just, this is different. More woods, more wet woods. Oh, the candy tree's coming out now. Oh, I'm getting this amazing rose and raspberry candied note. And when I say candied, I mean it really has, it's like you're almost taking boiled sweets, hard candies, and then you're combining it with wood resins. So it just becomes even deeper, even more foresty, even more natural, or more natural than those flavored sweets. Oh, no, they're both amazing. And this one, with the dry leaf smell, I'm predicting a delicious yet troubled session ahead. Ah, guava, loads and loads of guava. Not guava, you know, it's so concentrated, that guava smell, but it's not like stewed down and cooked like a guava jam. It really is like a bright, sweet candy. Raspberries, guava. Caramelized pastry like a palmier. Oh, we're in trouble. I had a feeling, which is why this the cameras went on, because this scout did not stop talking about how great. I think that she maybe doesn't normally source this tea, and we exhausted our other contacts for finding Candy Tree Black, apart from this one which I said I purchased, which is amazing, and I'm so happy I bought it at a much cheaper price point than these ones. And I think that we just sort of said, can you find it? She went out, did some exploration, found this one farmer, one producer, and I think because she maybe hadn't experienced it much, I think she has gone a bit crazy for it. But she has good taste. This woman, very good taste, and that's the privilege that I have. Is that over the last couple of decades, we've really built up relationships with people that I can trust their taste, almost to the point where if they say I've only got 10 kilos of this, it's going to go before I send you a sample. It's really good. Trust me. I occasionally, very occasionally, will say, go and buy it then. I trust your taste. And it has 9 times out of 10 worked out. Not always, 9 times out of 10 it worked out. But I don't like to do that. But maybe that happens once every couple of years with one tea. But she is one of those scouts that when she says a tea is good, generally it's good. It may not be something I buy because of other reasons. It might be price. It might be because I found it before already, as is the case with this one. But they're always good when she says they're good. Okay, so we're brewing them all up together. And I am genuinely a bit excited, but also a bit... there is a big part of me that hopes that they're all going to be delicious, but not quite make the mark, because I am way over budget. What can you do? If you love a tea, you love a tea, right? And the aroma that's coming off these three gaiwans is something absolutely magical. I'm telling you. Fig leaf. Foresty, forest fruit resins. And a bright, piercing, candied sweetness from this one. Okay, cheers everybody. These are going to be very hot. So we'll focus on texture of all of them first. Thick, medium thick, but close to thick. Slightly lighter. That's thicker than that one. Whoa. Incredible fruit note coming off that one. My gosh. Hold on a minute. What is that fruit? I keep saying guava. Guava, mangosteen, tropical fruit, a little bit of cannabis, a little bit of rhubarb for that spicy note. Wow. That could be the super expensive one. But the texture is thinner. Wow. Amazing. Holy moly. What a tea. The balance on that tea is incredible. So whilst it has all of those candied fruit notes that this one has, it's also got this rounded, creamy butteriness, this rich, rounded, thick mouthfeel, this soft, little bit of coconut cream note happening in and amongst the guavas and the raspberries and the mangosteens and the pine resins. That tea encapsulates everything I'd want from a Candy Tree Black, but with the addition of this velvety, rounded taste and texture. They are all top shelf teas. This one's the most different. This one's the most fig leaf, slight liniment quality. A little bit of camphor, wintergreen. So we've got a little bit of that medicinal freshness, but then lots and lots of fig leaf, and has a similar to this one, a very rounded quality, and has a lightness of touch in the mouth, a brightness in the mouth. The juiciness coming off the sides of my tongue is fresh, it's bright, it's springtime, it's cooling, it's lively but elegant. It's a very, very sophisticated tea, this one. It tastes like the quality of the leaf material is absolutely not trying to show off because it doesn't need to. It is just, top quality pickings from top quality bushes that have this bright, vaporous freshness that it leaves your mouth. And I always talk about, how does the tea leave you? This is leaving me with a lovely freshness that I would want to carry through the day. And the fig leaf and slight elderflower and fig leaf, gorgeous. Nothing like Candy Tree Black that I associate with Candy Tree Black, but an amazing tea and absolutely worthy of consideration for Mayleaf shelves. So immediately you've got a problem here. Okay. Okay, the most foresty of the bunch. So more wood notes. It reminds me a little bit more of the Little Tongmu, which is a village in Wuyi, which has a little bit more of that wet woods, balsa wood, pine, and some mineral rockiness. If you've seen our video of Tongmu, you'll see there's rocks everywhere, and it has a mineral quench and a mineral structure, which I absolutely love. However, I can say that that's a flavor profile that I already have covered, or it's a tea profile which I think I've already got covered in teas from Tongmu, like Little Tongmu. So even though this is absolutely an amazing tea, at the moment I'm leaning to say that that is not something that I would consider, because it is too close to something that's existing in our catalogue. This one's going to be trouble. And as it cools, it becomes more trouble, because now I'm tasting absolutely everything. When it's too hot, the flavors are slightly muted. Pineapple, guava. Pineapple that's been over fermented, so it's become a bit darker. The pineapple, very, very sweet, and you've got that the pineapple skin, the smell of that pineapple skin when it's very, very dark and redolent with that overripe smell is in there. Amazing. Guava, some fig, some melted butter. It is an absolute winner. And now I'm going to have to taste this against the Candy Tree Black that we have already purchased, which I know is a great tea, and see whether or not there's enough room for this one to exist in and amongst it. And I need to know the price, but we'll leave that till later. Always good to try to avoid looking at prices until you've formulated some assessment of the character of the tea. Come on, let's go. New kettle. I'm still getting to know it. Yeah, I would say this one is out of the running, even though it's an amazing tea. This one is still in because of that incredible figgy brightness combined with that rounded nature, and this one is certainly in the running. But we'll brew up a second infusion. The aftertaste in my mouth, it's like a fiesta in a fruit orchard in early summer. Still got that freshness, still got that brightness, but so much of that fruit candy. Look at the leaves, they all look pretty similar. I would say that this one here has the look that I would associate most with Candy Tree Black, but look of dry leaf is just something you look at and gives you some pointers, but ultimately it comes down to this, the tasting experience. So nice strong brew, brewing at 95 degrees, 205 Fahrenheit. I'm excited to know the different teas, what they are. I've got some information hidden away on a card on our Trello board. Cheers. Amazing. That fig leaf note is incredible. It's like I've opened up a box of a medicine box of liniments, right? Tiger balm, Tokuhon chill, those sort of, muscle rubs. And I've put that in the distance. So it's just a little whiff. And then I am making this fig syrup. So I'm steeping fresh fig leaves. And then a light mineral chalkiness and this melted butter roundness. Yeah, an incredible tea, but too similar to Little Tongmu. But I still love this tea. Final one of this. C, TC, and that's hot. It's a great way to cool down your fingers, touch your earlobe. Yeah, it is amazing. And as it freshens, as you brew into it, it seems to be getting fresher. And as you brew into it, you're getting to learn more about the quality of the leaf, the chemicals and the compounds within the leaf structure as they brew out. And all I'm getting is this is even higher quality than I thought. It is dancing on my tongue with this this mineral to juicy, so dry to juicy, mineral to juicy, fresh fruit, and then like almost alpine freshness, almost alpine uplifting freshness in the mouth. It's like, I don't know, you're running through an alpine meadow. It's fresh, it's cool air, but it's still summery, and you're getting all of these floral notes coming through. Violets, lilac, purple flowers. An amazing tea. So this one I will say no to. These two I am very interested in. I don't have much to do more sessions, so I'm going to have to taste them against others. Should we find out what they are? I'm going to pull up this card here, which has been hiding here. Right, so TA is a loud song, so an old bush Wuyi wild tea. So old bush. Doesn't explain why it is incredibly fig heavy, and as it cools, this tea just becomes so sublime that I feel like splurging. The price of this tea, it's not bad actually. Work out about, I don't know, around 40 cents per gram or something, which is, yeah, I mean, it's a, you know, high ticket specialty tea price, but for a loud song, I am tempted. I'm tempted. I'm going to have to brew through more infusions, but I'm tempted by this one. This one here is actually more expensive, and this one's called Wild Chestnut Tea. I'm guessing, I mean, that there's something in the translation, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know why they call it chestnut. It's obviously from the tea bush, or for the tea tree, and it's gorgeous tea. But it's about 50% more than that, so it'd be around sort of 60 cents per gram. But yes, as predicted, this one here, single tree from what they're calling the bestest wild old fir tree. But basically it's their oldest tree. It's single tree. It is amazing, and it's about 3 times the price of that one there. So it is a very, very expensive black tea. And it's gonna be on my mind for the rest of the day now, what I'm gonna do with this. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this video. I'm gonna make a decision about whether or not I'm gonna purchase any of these teas. And maybe what I'll do is I'll hold back release of this video to, if we purchase it, I'll release it around that time so that you could then get it if you wanted to taste this tea or these teas, depending on which ones I get. So check out the description and the link below, or I'll write something somewhere here to let you know whether or not we got any of these teas. But right now, fig leaf and this mind-blowing candy tree are high up on the radar. I have to look at the finances. That's it, tea heads. Check out other videos, taste our teas wherever you're in the world by browsing mayleaf.com, and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being a part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the supreme stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.